Hello everyone from sunny Vietnam. Welcome to AquaDream Studio. Been gone for a long time, and the reason for this is that I ordered another shallow aquarium. My new crush is shallow aquariums. I'm done with round tanks so far. Now shallow aquariums is my new passion and I just love them. So today's project will be shallow nano aquarium as well. It will be bigger 10 centimeters more in length than the previous one. But to record this video I wanted much earlier. But something bad happened. I ordered this new shallow aquarium. The seller sent it to me. I waited 3 or 4 days and when it arrived, everything was packed very well, very tight. There were no complaints about the packaging at all. But as soon as I started unboxing it, pulling out all the soft fillers, and it turned out that the aquarium is broken. Here on the screen you can see. How did it look like when I got it? The seller responded immediately. Luckily the seller was good and immediately on the same day he sent me free new one, same size tank. So I had to wait to more or 3 days. And this morning I got it and want to make it today. My aquariums can't be empty for a long time. Well, before I show you my new project, I want to show you my previous shallow aquarium and fish that I got there. Usually I buy fish or shrimp after 3 to 4 weeks after start the aquarium. But here I just couldn't wait and thought that it should be okay. And yes indeed, the fish are okay, eating and active, nothing bad happened to them. And they are very beautiful, miniature just exactly for this aquarium. Let's go and see. Look at these beauties. Had to pour them some food so they come closer. They're pretty shy. Look how beautiful they're. Fins and what a beautiful shape. And they are quite miniature. I bought them 3 pieces. Their name is threadfin rainbow fish. I will write the name in the description under this video. There are 3 of them and one has orange fins and the other to have them black. I think there might be 2 males or 1 female, either 1 male and 2 females. When they fight among themselves, either they don't like something, they reveal those fins and they are getting look like some lizards or dinosaurs. Now maybe you can see it. See them reveal their fins. Who didn't see the video of build this nano shallow aquarium? I will also leave the link in the description. So here is the new shallow aquarium. It is 10 centimeters long. Its length is 40 centimeters, height 15, and width 20 like the previous one. Light I bought a little different. 18 here, smaller 14, but it is more powerful than the one with 18. It also in stylish black color. It has some flaws. It can't be adjusted in height. Here this lamp was possible. It has an app. In the app the light color 6500. But for some reason it shines if you see with a lot of blue spectrum. Let's see how it will look with Hardscape and all the plants. Anyway, I can change the spectrum because I don't like when the blue spectrum dominates. I like when the light color is neutral, like natural sunlight like here. So in the application you can change the temperature I will set such so it is close to natural sunlight. As always, I already stick black background. Show you how to stick background I want this time. You have already seen. Well, the aquarium is ready for setup. So, materials that I will use today. These are two beautiful pieces of wood. I'll show you later how I will use them in our hardscape today. And also other paints for our art today. I've chosen this type of rocks. Almost everything is reddish in color. It's a river stone. Also pebbles for the first layer. Next, for decorations, this large pebbles as well. Smaller pebbles. This beautiful color sand. Fine sand. Then larger. And larger like this. And here as well. Some of pebbles remaining. About the same size. Let's see what more suitable. Next I got a new glue. Now I use one like this. It goes here with such a thin tube. Let's see. How comfortable. Good and fast. It glues wood parts. And rocks. About the idea of today's hardscape. So here are these two wood pieces. I want to lay them this way. First we will have lower like this. And the second longer one will be higher. Something like this, probably from the background. So this is how hardscape will look like. I will lay rocks starting from here, and they will be under wood and in the middle as well. So that's the idea. It's almost impossible to plan exactly how it will look like and everything in detail in advance. Something always changes during the work. Changes. New ideas arise. So let's see how it goes. So the plants that will be used today. Perhaps not all of them. This here again, Bolbitis Dyfformis. The same one I used in previous shallow aquarium. It is pretty expensive, by the way. Probably the most expensive plant so far which I ever bought here in Vietnam. So if it dies, I will die with it, haha. Here is a Liliopsis. Anubias nana petite. 2 pots of them. Next I took 2 pots of this kind of Pogostemon. Everyone says it requires CO2 injection for additional feed. But let's see how it works without CO2. Because in my aquariums, without CO2 growing even Monte Carlo. So let's see how it goes. I hope that it will get rooted. Next, I took this kind of Bucephalandra. Bucephalandra and Anubias will be between the stones, either on a wood. We will decide later. Next is Hydrophylla like wanted this. To find a smaller one, but there was only this large. Should be okay, because the aquarium is bigger too. Let's see where we plant it. That's the kind of higher grass. It will go either to the foreground or to the back. I haven't decided yet. And also in the background I want to plant everything with some cuttings of Mikrantemum, which I have sprouted in 2 of my round nano aquariums. I can get to big bushes from cuttings. And I want to put them in the background. Next I took just a little bit of this carpet plant. It is an air form, and it looks very different from the Starodjain Repens. I will write the name of all plants in the description of this video. It looks very different now. Actually, it grows very low and looks like stars. and the leaves underwater get much bigger. Was also told to me that it is necessarily of additional CO2 supply. So let's see, will it grow with no extra injection of CO2? Also this handsome moss, I guess this is Christmas moss. Just it is trimmed, I think. It will go to our wood and some large pebbles. So the idea for a hardscape we have. First thing I will do is me gluing these two pieces of wood together using my new glue. Let's go. So I think that's how we leave it. A little clumps will be closer to the middle so that I can plant in the bag all the plants. Unfortunately, I don't have cotton for stronger gluing. I will use this white sponge. Gonna try with it help and glue these to clumps tightly. Wow friends, super cool glue. Recommend buying this kind of liquid super glue. It's like water inside. Before this type I've always used gel and it dries for a very long time. And this one just sticks everything instantly. Literally been a few minutes and clumps already glued tightly to each other. So let's proceed to the next stage. Our first layer of river pebbles. I'm going to apply it in the background and a little on the front, under our clumps. There will be no pebbles in the front. Raise a little our scape to the background. And so now it is time for laying stones. I have a lot. I will choose, while I'm in the process, which one's more suitable. So since these clumps are pretty light, to avoid them to float up at the end when getting water in, I will glue them now also to the stones and all the stones in between to fully solidify our whole hardscape so it doesn't fall apart. Now pour a little of sand, which will be in the foreground in glue spots so the glue there will not be seen, even if you can see the glue in some places. I will use moss to cover it. Now it is time for substrate. First thin layer. I will apply a little bit of vermicompost. It will be an additional natural fertilizer for plants. Second layer will be granulated. Substrate, I think. This substrate is based on clay, I think. This is how it looks. In the last layer, we will have regular AquaSoil. I will apply AquaSoil. In the background, gonna close our first and second layers, and a little forward, since I want to most likely plant grass there. Well, now the time of the most interesting I'm going to apply sand and decorate it with our pebbles of different sizes, starting from the smallest and ending with the largest. Now we take a bigger pebble, same color, and start applying around the rocks. Now I'll take a pebble, larger and smaller, just a little bit. Also around rocks, a little bit of it. Apply as well. Well, that turned out very beautiful, very cool, and looks very natural. So I recommend you, when designing your scape, use different size, different fraction pebbles. It gives the hardscape a very natural look. I am very satisfied. No more needed. I have more, of very large pebbles, but I think it will be too much. It's time for planting. In my opinion, the hardest step. A lot of plants are here. I always want to plant everything, but it's also very important not to overdo it. In aquascape, is not only important, correctly and beautifully lay clumps and stones and make hardscape beautiful and looking natural, but also properly organized plants, so that they look also beautiful and harmonious in the whole scape. In my head, I kind of imagine where to plant something, but we will see while doing it. Let's start. We will go with our most expensive Bolbitis Dyfformis first. In my previous shallow aquarium, I planted it underwater. It can grow underwater and in air form too. This time I want to try to put it half in water and another half will be above water and see how it goes in the future. Which option is better? Next, we will go with Liliopsis. This smaller bush to this side, on the smaller side, and more on this side. Now we will stick our handsome Anubias. These small pieces of nano petite. How many do I have them? 12. 7 pieces. All of them and attach. On our clumps and on pebbles. Bucephalandra like this. One divided into 2 bushes and on both sides. Here is on this little pebble. I will glue it now. And this one I'm gonna put over there. Just put a pebble with it here in that corner. So now time for our carpet plants and moss. First, let's start with our Heir grass. Since the scape we have is small, all the pieces will also be small. Right now I will separate them and plant them. So it's time for our moss. Moss will glue on the wood and on the pebbles. Well, one of the last plants will be this carpet. It looks like this for now. I hope it takes root, hopefully without extra CO2. Will also grow, let's see. Small bushes. I will put them tightly with each other. Next is our Pogostemon. Well, and the completion of this composition will be our Mikrantemum, which I want to plant. The whole background. It is growing very well, and I have it in 2 of my nano aquariums. It has grown a lot, and time for its first trim. Let's go and cut. So it's time to cut this Mikrantemum. I will cut it about like this half. Want to do some, maybe like a hat. Round. Let's go. So I got these 3 bushes. Now I will put them here. If it will not be enough, I'll also cut it from another aquarium. So not enough to the right part. So we need more here. It has grew very well here too. Let's trim. Okay friends, we are about to finish. 3 last bushes of Mikrantemum to right background. And tank can be filled with water. In my opinion, it turned out superb. Alright friends, we are finished. Let's fill with water and see the final result. So friends, also in today's video, I finally want to fill my dry start with water, which I started over 3 weeks ago. This is more than needed, but I wanted to wait longer to make this plant grow more tightly, to be a tight fluffy carpet, and I think that it is ready to fill with water. I wrote to the seller and asked the name of this plant. He replied that it was a Hemianthus cuba, but I'm very doubted, because in air form it looks very different, therefore underwater after some time. At some point you and I will find out. What plant is that? Let's look closer and fill with water. See how beautiful dense carpet. Leaves got bigger. Well, let's fill with water. And further in the future we will see how this plant is. Take root underwater. How it will evolve and change its shape, and find out exactly what kind of plant it is. Since the volume is quite small, I decided to use drinking water. Since drinking water quality, much better in pH, just the right one. Add just a little bit of bacteria. And that's it. No water conditioner needed. I use drinking water here. So now it is muddy and will be cleaned up in 1/2 days. And the water will be completely clear. Well, we finished our new shallow aquarium. Let's see how the plants will take root. For updates on this aquarium, follow my following videos. Some plants I use for first time, so I'm not sure how much will they take root. Let's see in the future if I replace anything with which I know for sure will work on a low-tech aquarium. Well, if you like this project, press the like button. Don't forget to subscribe to my channel to don't miss updates on my aquariums and my new projects. And also follow my Instagram page. There I also post photos of all my projects and their updates, and see you again. Bye bye.